Welcome to Swartz Talkin Sports. This is your host, Les Swartz. Thanks for joining me tonight. Before we even get started on today's show, I want to again say a very special thank you to last week's guests. We had a daily double last week. We had former St. Louis Cardinal great Vince Coleman. Vince was amazing, great insight, great talk about his career, how he started in college. So we really want to, again, thank Vince. And also our second guest last week, Todd Trieger. Our Big Ten contributor. Todd was great, talked a lot of college football, and touched base on a little of the NHL this season. So he's already off to a good start. He picked the Golden Knights to win the Stanley Cup, and I think they're undefeated through 3 games. So nice job, Todd. Tonight is a very good show. I'm really looking forward to tonight's show. We always talk sports movies, right? We always talk which is the best sports movie and why one's better than the other, the acting, one's more realistic than the other movie. Well, we're going to discuss a little sports movies tonight with our special guest, John Irwin. John was with us. He's our NFL guy. John was with us on our second show. So we're going to bring John on, and we're going to talk sports movies. We're going to break it down by football, baseball, basketball, and hockey and other sports as well. So let's bring on John and let the fun begin.
Hey, how are you, Les?
What's up, John? I'm looking forward to this show.
Me
really,
too.
You know, we always talk, right? You and I always talk about this stuff, right? We always talk about, that's ridiculous. No one would do that. There's no way that actor really plays sports, right? So we figured, actually, it was a great idea by you. You came up with this a couple days ago to break it down by brackets like they do in March Madness with the NCAA basketball tournament. And you helped me, along with a couple other people, seed these movies per category, the 1 seed through 12, and we'll face them off. And we hope everyone will actually call in or chat in. Actually, the chat box today will let us know what movies should be moving on to the next round, and we'll keep the voting open for the next week, right? And they can, comment and let us know. And then next week at the end of that show, we'll let everyone know who moved on to the second round. So I appreciate the input from you on that.
Great.
All right.
I'm ready.
Great insight as always, John. You're my guy. So let's go with our first bracket, and we're going to go with football movies because we both love football movies, and there's like a million of them to choose from. So, again, so many of them out there, right, John? But per, us looking at these and breaking them down, we've got the number 1 seed in the football movie is Remember the Titans, a movie that came out, I believe, in 2000, and that was Denzel Washington about T.C. Williams, the first integrated high school in Virginia, against the Express. That's the Ernie Davis story, correct?
Correct, yeah, great story.
Great story, right? I mean, didn't know much about it.
Yeah, both of these are pretty inspirational.
I think so. So, we're looking at this thing, a lot of football in both of these movies as far as football scenes. Great acting. You can never go wrong with Denzel Washington. Will Patton also in that movie. Off the top, I mean, which one do you think was more lifelike or told a better story? Just to you, your opinion.
I'm going to go Remember the Titans. I'm going to base it on a little bit more football action.
Okay.
And it's a story I was unfamiliar with. So, and I give it, and you'll hear it again throughout there, I give it the Shawshank litmus test, right? If I'm flipping through channels and Shawshank Redemption is on, I usually stop. And Remember the Titans is high on the Shawshank scale. So I'm going there.
All right. So you're doing, okay. I agree with you. I thought The Express was a good movie. Interesting. I didn't know that much about Ernie Davis. I knew who he was. I know he had, unfortunately died of leukemia before he got a chance to play in the NFL, but he was right between Jim Brown and I believe it was Floyd Little at Syracuse, right? So Joni's mom would know because she went to Syracuse when Jim Brown was there, so she used to see him walk through campus. So if I'm wrong on that, Ro will correct me on that one. Okay, second seeded, we've got another movie based on a true story. We Are Marshall. That's based on, unfortunately, the largest sports tragedy that ever happened in the United States. The Marshall Thundering Herd football team, and I believe it was 1970, their plane crashed a couple of miles from the runway coming home from a game, and everyone passed away, the entire team, boosters. It was an incredible tragedy, very powerful movie. Matthew McConaughey plays Coach Jack Langell. Great acting. I think Matthew Fox is in that movie as well, plays that Coach Red. Don't know why they called him Red. Maybe because he had red hair. I don't know. And up against Any Given Sunday, and that's Al Pacino, right? That was, any movie with Lawrence Taylor in it, can you really take it seriously?
No. But when your quarterback is Willie Steeman Beeman,
Willie Steeman Beeman.
right?
That's
I'm
true.
in. He's pretty good, and of course he replaces. Is it Cap Swanson?
That would be a Cap Raider, I think.
Cap. Yeah.
And actually, and the actors that played that, John, right? You had Willie Steeman Beeman was Jamie Foxx, who looked pretty good, right?
Yeah, they did fine with him. Yeah.
Yeah, and Cap was
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid, right?
Sneaky good athlete.
Sneaky, who will come up on this list at a later time because
and probably misses on right. There was another movie that could have made the cut with him in it. Everybody's All American.
Everybody's
right?
All American. Exactly. We did have that on the list, but it did not make the cut. So, okay, if we're looking at these two movies, which one moves on to the second round?
I'm a big fan of We Are Marshall.
I am too.
Any Given Sunday is entertaining, but I'm a We Are Marshall guy.
I agree. I think anything with Matthew McConaughey's in it's great. It's not a romantic comedy. Finally did one that wasn't. So we're going with We Are Marshall. All right, up three. This is up next. We've got maybe a lot of people that have not, that watch this show or have tuned into it. Maybe have never seen this movie because, let's face it, it was filmed in 1970, right? It's an old movie, again, based on a true story. Brian's Song, a tearjerker. I dare anybody who watches this that does not shed a tear when he's either doing his speech to the Chicago Bears in the locker room or when he accepts the George Halas Award. I mean, come on, right?
Right. Yeah.
Did you shed a tear?
Steph Georgevich. Oh yeah. Probably first 5 times I watched it.
Okay.
And
And that's based on Gale Sayers.
But I cry at Hallmark movies. So.
Well, yeah, that's true. And thank God we're not reviewing any of those today. But we have so basically this was Gale Sayers, right? This was a Hall of Fame running back, maybe the best broken field runner ever, in the story of him and Brian Piccolo, another running back, a 7th round pick out of I don't know if he was a 7th round pick, but he was at Wake Forest, came in, led the nation in rushing, but backed up, and then they ended up playing in the same backfield together. Great music, great soundtrack. And unfortunately, Brian Piccolo, gets leukemia and passes away, during the season. So,
I mean, the part of this movie historically that's underplayed is how good Brian Piccolo was, and how big a deal it was to have Gale Sayers come in and challenge him, right? And they end up in the real life, they end up moving Piccolo to fullback.
Right, they moved him to fullback, and I think they were the first black-white tandem to ever room together in pro sports, at least pro football at that time, which was a big deal. And the movie made a big deal about it. So again, sentimental pick, but it's going up against, John, it's one of my favorite movies. It's the movie you and I saw the day after Thanksgiving.
Word there is one of your favorite movies.
Okay. All right. Thanks for clarifying that. Okay. All the Right Moves, one of my favorite movies. Okay. Steph Georgevich, Tom Cruise, probably in one of his first leading roles, right? Leah Thompson. Craig T. Nelson, right? Who was a coach, right? Been in a lot of movies. Okay, we have to talk.
This was his stepping off point for the show Coach. Absolutely.
This was, but we've got to talk about the coaching in this thing, right? So first of all.
Oh, gosh.
John, they're playing.
He could coach the San Diego Chargers with all of these bad decisions.
He could coach the San Diego Chargers. He'd do better than Staley, that's for sure. But
exactly.
But hold on. The guy plays goal line defense the entire game. 62 stack monster, right?
Wait, was this? Yeah, right. Was this with the 1 yard? Is this the game where he gave like 1 extra yard, pulled him up 1 yard off the line of scrimmage to mess him up?
No,
that's probably happened in a couple of different football movies. But anyway,
no, he plays the goal line defense the whole movie, and then Steph Georgevich has the pass interference. First of all, he makes a pick six. He has a pick six in the game, and everyone loves him, right? Then he has a pass interference call at the goal line, gives them a first down. They hold them on this amazing goal line stance. By the way, Christopher Penn plays Brian. What's his last name?
Brian, I'm going to USC.
Yeah, he's going to USC. He's going to USC. He's not going to shovel earthquakes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. There's no way Chris Penn is going to USC as a middle linebacker. Anyway, they stop him. Next play, they fumble the ball. They lose the game. They blame Steph Georgevich, blames the coach. The coach blames Steph Georgevich. He blackballs him.
I don't know how you don't blame the coach, right? I mean, which is the epic flaw. Kneel on the ball.
Exactly. Take the safety and punt it out of there, right? I know, crazy. So, okay, so I love that movie.
There's a lot of like as we go through all of these movies, there's in almost every one of these movies is something you go, huh?
I know that's a head
Like
scratcher, but
that wouldn't happen.
and now I love all the right moves. I do, but if I'm picking this thing, I got to go with Brian's song. Moving on to the next round. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, oh, I totally agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I love both of them, but
Okay.
Brian Song's a better movie.
I'm curious to see what the viewers say out there and what they say, or what they vote on. All right, so next up we've got The Longest Yard. Now, for our younger viewers, this is the original Longest Yard, right? This is not the remake with Adam Sandler. No, this is
Michael Irvin.
Yeah, exactly.
Bill Romanowski.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's nice. Bore, and Snore. Okay, great. Now, okay, Longest Yard is Burt Reynolds plays Paul Wrecking Crew. Come on, amazing. Eddie Albert is the like power hungry warden, right? Who makes the deal and all that kind of stuff, brokers the deal. I thought that was a great movie. But by the way, just FYI, John, in that movie, the Indian who plays, Indian, all right, that was Sonny Sixkiller, who was a great quarterback for the University of Washington in the early 70s. Just FYI about that.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me he was your cousin.
No, no cousin. No cousin. But now that movie's going up against another oldie but goodie that was made in 1980, and that's North Dallas 40, which I think was actually pretty true. And that was based on a Peter Gent novel who had a cup of coffee with the Dallas Cowboys and Tom Landry, because you know that the coach who played in North Dallas 40, we're going to talk about him in another movie in basketball. We know that, right? J.D. Spradlin played that coach. And
great character actor.
Right. And he was modeled right after Tom Landry, right?
Yep.
Right. So, I mean, we have to pick it.
This has got some historical accuracy to it. I think.
John Matuzak's in this movie.
Yeah. Particularly as it relates to the coaching in the front office of the Dallas Cowboys.
Exactly.
I mean, I think it hits that pretty good. It's hard. I don't think of all the movies we're going to talk about, that's probably one fewer people have seen. And again, listen, it's hard to take Mac Davis serious as an athlete at all.
That's true.
But
Seth Maxwell, by the way.
But really a really good movie, right? Particularly the line that every time I call it a game, you call it a business, and every time I call it a business, you call it a game, which is sort of sums up, pro sports today.
I agree. So we have to make a pick. Who do you like?
Longest Yard.
I agree. I love
It's
North Dallas.
Closer than you think for me, but Longest Yard.
See, now the Longest Yard.
So many. I think you broke.
I know, and that's Richard Keel, who most people know as Jaws from like the James Bond movies, right?
Stuff.
And
does it look okay?
But here's the thing, right? It's funny is that to me that's a remote drop, but unfortunately it's never on TV, so I can't have a remote drop on that.
No,
right?
the remake is on.
The remake is terrible. Okay, next up we've got Friday Night Lights. Sorry, I just don't like Adam Sandler as a quarterback. He's a basketball player, right? So we got Friday Night Lights, which I thought was great. I read the book. Pretty accurate to what the book was. They took liberties with some of the actors, and stuff like that. But that's going up against another sentimental favorite, Rudy.
I'm going to surprise you on this one. I'm going Friday Night Lights.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
You're a Notre Dame guy.
I do. I love Notre Dame, and the Rudy story is great, and there's parts of that are just awesome.
Okay.
But Friday Night Lights, man, that I don't know. If you played high school football, that thing tugs at you.
Okay,
I like it.
All right, so you're surprised. Okay, you know what's funny? Our producer Tony, who by the way, amazing graphics on this, and amazing opening graphics. He's great. Said, "Wow, we're already 15 minutes in. Wow, we're supposed to do 30 minutes on this, and we're getting bogged down here. So I'm gonna pick it up a little bit. So we both like Friday Night Lights to move on, and then we're gonna finish on football with The Program and The Blind Side. Now, The Program, a movie that came out, I don't know, 2004, 2003. James Caan, another one. James Caan was in. He's the coach of the team, based on college football. A lot of stuff about it. A lot of talk about steroids and fixing grades and all kinds of things. Against The Blind Side, which has been in the news lately, John, right? With Michael Orr suing the Toohey family for whatever. I don't know what's going on there, but
so if this were like a college basketball bracket, The Program to me would be the team that doesn't belong. It's that 65th team that gets in and shouldn't be there. So I'm going Blind Side. Okay, so we're going Blind Side on that. Okay, great. So we're done up with the football. And again, I want to encourage everyone to let us know what you think. Let us know what movies you'd move on to the next bracket. Which movies are better? Comment. Let us know why. Tell me I'm crazy. Maybe All the Right Moves should be number one.
I doubt it. But anyway, all right, we're going to move on now to the baseball movies. And there's a lot of great baseball movies, John. We're going to start off with the number one seed, which is another one of these sentimental movies. I loved it. Field of Dreams.
Yep.
Now, it's going up against 8 Men Out, which was an excellent baseball movie, right? About the Chicago Black Sox scandal, right? Good actors in that movie. Charlie Sheen's in that movie.
Incredible cast.
Yeah, incredible cast, right? I love the baseball scenes in it. Great movie. But how do you bet against Field of Dreams?
Yeah, I don't think you can. I mean, if you like history, you'll go 8 Men Out. If you need a little pick-me-up, Field of Dreams kills it.
But you know what's interesting, real quick, on this one, is they're both about the Black Sox scandal because Shoeless Joe Jackson's in both movies.
Exactly. Good pairing right there.
Yeah, no, exactly. So we're going to go with Field of Dreams on that one. Next up,
the selection committee got those.
The selection
right?
committee did. Kudos. Next one up, one you cracked up about. We have 42 against 61, right?
It's our all numbers bracket.
It's our all numbers bracket,
matchup.
right? You've got 42, which is the Jackie Robinson story. Chad Boseman, who has passed away, but great job on that. I think, what's his name? Harrison Ford playing Branch Rickey was outstanding in that movie.
Oh yeah, did a great job.
Against 61.
Who's the actor who played Pee Wee Reese? He did a good job too.
Oh my God, that was oh my goodness.
He played in what's the other football movie he played in?
Oh, he was in Friday Night Lights, the quarterback.
Yeah.
He played Mike Winchell in Friday Night Lights. My God, he could be moving on in two brackets, right? So,
oh my gosh, it's an all Winchell bracket.
It's an all Winchell bracket. And against 61, which was Billy Crystal, directed this movie. It was an HBO movie, and I thought it was a great movie depicting Roger Maris and the race that year between Maris and Mantle to beat Babe Ruth's record. I thought it was a great movie. I'm going to surprise you on this one. As much as, Jackie Robinson, great story. I love the story of 61. That's just me. What do you think?
I'm going to go the other way. I think this is one of the hardest choices we'll have. I think these are two terrific movies that are pretty difficult to choose.
Okay.
Both have really good casts. The writing in 61 is outstanding. The story in 42 is we've heard it, but we've never seen it like that. It was great.
Okay, excellent. And it had a lot to do with, the stuff that he had to put up with Jackie Robinson, which is incredible. Next up, we got The Natural and Major League. Now, okay, another one. This is going to be a surprise to me, okay? The Natural against Robert Redford, great actor. Looks like he never picked up a baseball bat in his life. I'm sorry.
There
my
are
goodness
definitely
gracious.
times when he looks a little awkward.
Yeah, he looks a little awkward. He should be
okay
holding
on
a
the mound.
broomstick. Okay. I love Major League. How can you go against Rick Wild Thing Vaughn? I mean, there's T-shirts, there's Indian jerseys with Rick Wild Thing Vaughn on them, right? I'm sorry. I'm going with Major League here. What do you think?
You can also buy a Roy Hobbs jersey. Who cares?
Who?
No, I can't. Who? I can't go Major League. Who's the starting pitcher in the last game? What's his name? I'm throwing every piece of junk up there. No one believes that 52-year-old man was throwing in the major leagues.
That's true. He's been in every movie. That's true. He does know what
someone might believe that, there's a guy who prays to Jobu and rubs chicken bones on his.
That's true. That would be Pedro Serrano. That's Pedro Serrano, who also does progressive commercials.
I'm going with The Natural for no real good reason, because the rest of the cast, there's not a good baseball player in any of the cast.
Okay. All right. You're going Natural.
It's a great story.
All right. I'm pulling up an upset in this next one. We got Bull Durham, right? Which is another Kevin Costner's in one, another one, right? It is going up against Mr. Baseball, which Tom Selleck.
Mr. Baseball is the baseball version of All the Right Moves for You.
It is, because to me, that's a remote drop. Again, it's never on TV. But if it
this
was.
This is a 1:15 game. Bull Durham is way better.
Listen. Jack Elliott goes to Japan. Tom Selleck plays Jack Elliott. Goes to Japan, tries to resurrect his career. Again, and the funny thing is, Pedro Serrano, the actor Dennis Haysbert, is in this movie as well. He gets signed by the Dodgers at the end of the end of the movie, right? So we got to pick it up real quick. But I like Major League. Who are you taking?
Bull Durham. In a
route.
I
mean, Mr. Baseball. You're taking Bull Durham?
Bull Durham.
All right, good. Okay.
In a route.
Next
Great
one,
movie.
We got A League of Their Own. Okay, great story, true story. Gina Davis, great catcher in the movie, right? Come on, does the split and everything, makes catch, right? Going up against
Madonna was great in this movie.
She was great in this movie. Catches
Rosie
the ball with her
O'Donnell
hat.
was good.
Rosie O'Donnell's really good. Dives into the things and eats 2 hot dogs. Fantastic. Okay, we got that. And then against my underdog, Bingo Long and the Traveling All Stars. I have to give kudos to my brother on this one, Marty Swartz. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Marty. Okay, he's like, you remember that movie? That was a great movie. Billy D. Williams again. in this thing.
Yep.
James Earl Jones, Richard Pryor, one of his earlier starting movies, right? Played Carlos Nevada. Great movie. I'm going with Bingo Long. What are you going with?
I like Bingo Long too.
All right.
No one else will like it as much as we like it.
No one else knows
good,
besides me, you, and Marty who Bingo Long is. Okay. Last one up, and it's two real kind of movies aimed at like maybe younger kids when we were growing up, and that's The Sandlot and Bad News Bears. I know Walter Matthau, great. I know Tatum O'Neal, great. I can't bet against this. How can you bet against Jenny the Bet Rodriguez?
Listen, Sandlot might go all the way to the Final Four here.
Love The Sandlot, right? So I'm going Sandlot.
No, I'm a big Sandlot guy.
Okay, I'm going Sandlot. Okay, so we're done with baseball. So we had a couple upsets in there, John. Now let's go to basketball movies. Now again, another sentimental favorite starting this off, right? A movie that universally is loved. Great acting. Gene Hackman, amazing as a coach. That's Hoosiers, and that's ranked number one. It's going up against Space Jam. Great concept, like the whole Bugs Bunny thing with Michael Jordan and everything, but come on.
Hated
it. Hated it. I like it.
Hated Space Jam. Okay. Hated Space Jam 1. Hated the remake. Hated anything I see on Disney Network about it.
Okay.
Hated.
Well, you know what we're going to do? Because this show is the way it is and I can control it, it's now Johnny Ebert. Okay, basically, you are Roger Ebert's cousin, Johnny Ebert. Great. I'm going with Hoosiers on this one as well.
Johnny Ebert.
Okay, the second one is a very interesting one. You've got a great, I think one of the best movies I've seen sports-wise, Coach Carter, and that's with Samuel L. Jackson, based on a true story, coach of an inner-city team, Richmond, tremendous team, the Richmond 49ers, I think. And that is going up against probably a movie that I would guess that nobody that's listening to this right now, all 9 of you, has ever heard. And that's A Fish That Saved Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I've actually seen it. I liked it. It's old. You know, if you watch a lot of movies now, the cinematography will make you feel like you're watching a silent movie, but okay. But Coach Carter is still a better movie.
Yeah, and The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh actually starred, believe it or not, Julius Erving when he was in his prime playing with the Philadelphia 76ers, and they had a player named Set Shot Buford.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing had an ABA feel to it.
It did. It had definitely ABA feel. The Pittsburgh Pythons, I believe. Then they changed the name to the Pisces. But we're going with. I know way too much about this movie, so we're going with.
You know way too much about most everything.
Unfortunately, things that don't matter.
Plethora of useless information.
We're going with Coach Carter. All right. Next, we got White Men Can't Jump, which you laugh about because what did you say about Woody Harrelson?
Oh, no one believes he can dunk.
Exactly.
Ever.
Yeah, maybe off a ladder. Okay. Against one-on-one. And we both, okay, here it is right here.
And Robbie Benson, he's like 6'3" or 4, right? He might be able to dunk.
He could dunk, but I know you're waiting for me to, I know you're waiting for this, right? You're waiting for a Jomo Wade reference.
Oh, and Jomo Wade is fouled out.
Exactly. So, and again, the coach is the same coach at North Dallas 40, right? Same coach at North Dallas 40. I got to comment down. I'm getting very excited. I'm getting the word. Les, you got to comment down. Jomo Wade excites me. I'm sorry. He's a great player. You know, number 50, right?
Words to live by. Jomo Wade excites me.
I'm going with one-on-one in this.
So this is a really tough one for me, but I'm going in the other direction. I like White Men Can't Jump. It's ultimately a tragedy, right? Like it does not end well. Like
no,
Woody Harrelson falls on his face at almost every turn. He gets taken. You know, Rosie Perez is pretty funny. She knows, foods that begin with the letter Q.
She does. She does very good. And by the way, Marcus Johnson has a cameo in that movie as well.
Oh, and he's awesome.
Oh, he goes around with a razor blade trying to cut people up. It's great.
Oh, he's so good in the movie.
He is. Okay.
I'm going White Man Can't Jump.
Okay. I like one-on-one. We're going now.
I love one-on-one, but
he got game. Close. Now here's a good one. He got game, and I don't know what happened. My screen just flipped on me. I have no idea what I did. Yeah. So we're going one-on-one in air now. In all fairness, I have not seen Air.
He got game in Air.
He got game in Air. Okay, our social media director suggested Air. She said it's a great movie. That's about Nike, Michael Jordan's relationship with Nike and how that happened. I have not seen it. Affleck and Damon, great pairing. I love everything they do. He Got Game was a great movie. Again, Denzel Washington, another sports movie. And this is with Ray Allen, who made his acting debut and actually was very good.
Ray Allen was really good. He was really good in this movie.
I'm going with He Got Game because I haven't seen Air. So
good criteria.
Process of elimination, John. Right?
Well, I mean, that's true. How could you vote for Air if you haven't seen it?
Exactly.
I have seen both. and I'm still going with He Got Game.
Good. I like that. Next up, we got a historic.
That is mainly because of Denzel's hair in the movie.
Yeah, awesome. It is. Yeah, he's got the afro thing going on there. You've got Glory Road.
It's got a mid-size.
Glory Road, which is a historically great movie. Again, I think I forget what his last name is. Lucas is the actor in it, and this is about the Texas Western team. It's the first time in college basketball that an all-black starting five played and won the championship. I think they beat Adolph Rupp's Kentucky team.
Yep.
In that, and in that movie's going up against Like Mike, which is Little Bow Wow, who tries on old Michael Jordan sneakers and turns into Michael Jordan, and he dunks from like 50 feet away. Yeah, not realistic. I don't like that movie.
Not realistic at all. I mean, but it's a fantasy movie. I think it's like, normally it's the kind of movie I would hate, but I don't. And I kind of like it.
Okay.
Like Mike, but I'm going to vote Glory Road either way.
But the fact that Little Bow Wow can jump from the half court line and dunk. Okay.
The fact that he's named Little Bow Wow. How cool is that?
That's very true.
I mean,
I like that. I really like that.
Little Bow Wow and Chris Cross should like get together and do an album of
John
retro tour.
You're going to have me like seriously.
All of them have to wear their pants backwards.
Okay.
Like jump around.
Okay. Next up, I got to take this seriously. Next up, we've got Blue Chips, which we both really like, right? Because it stars, forget about Nick Nolte as the coach, right? Neon Dion Bordeaux, who, if people haven't seen it, is Shaquille O'Neal, right? Penny Hardaway's in this movie, and that is against Above the Rim, which I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, but it's an excellent movie. Tupac Shakur's in it. Great movie. I love Blue Chips, but I'm going Above the Rim.
I can understand that, but I'm still going Blue Chips because Nick. It's a great cast to start with.
Okay.
The basketball players all do a pretty good job acting.
They do.
Pretty good.
They do.
Penny Hardaway shouldn't give up his coaching gig.
But
Shaq was entertaining.
Shaq was good, and Shaq does the best commercials. His Icy Hot commercials. I mean, come on, really, come in. All right. Now we have hockey movies and everything else. We're actually getting to the end of this. And
the potpourri category.
Potpourri category, exactly. And I am not whoever that guy is who does that show. Who is that guy?
Jeopardy.
I was going to say Wink Martindale.
Nice. It was before Alex Trebek. No, it was
Alex Trebek, right? Okay, so in this category, the number one seed we've got, and again, it's another one of those iconic movies, right? Is Miracle, which the story
Wait, I
of
thought you weren't putting Caddyshack on. You're killing me with this.
Well,
pairing.
You know something? The selection committee at the last minute made a couple of changes, right? So Miracle, obviously, the story about the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team, unbelievable, probably the greatest upset in the history of sports, in my opinion, when they beat the Russians 4-3, and then went on and beat Finland. The head coach, Herb Brooks, is played magnificently by Kurt Russell,
who was a minor league baseball player.
He was a minor league baseball player, right? Double A. And here's an interesting fact that people don't know. A couple of people that do know. No, little known fact that the actor that played Jack O'Callahan in this movie, Mike Mantenuto from Holliston, Mass., used to sharpen my ice skates when he was 12 years old and worked at the pro shop.
That's not a little known fact. That's a completely unknown fact.
Okay, that's completely unknown.
Until 2 seconds ago.
All right, now the rest of the world knows that he sharpened my ice skates when he was 12 years old. Okay, great. Now, that's up against Caddyshack. Okay, great movie, great lines. Hey, Moose, Rocco, help the judge find his checkbook. I know Gary will get a kick out of that. You got to go with Miracle.
Yeah, I do go with Miracle, but it's really hard. I think this is a very sad first-round matchup. I'd like to see Caddyshack get deeper, but not in this grouping. They're not.
I hear you, but Al Chervik, really, bad golfer. I love Rodney, but bad golfer. All right, number two, probably out of all these movies, this one and one of the next ones, it won an Academy Award. I mean, my God, right? Rocky. This is Rocky 1, not Rocky 17. Okay. So this is Rocky going up against Youngblood, which a lot of people might think this is the Jack Youngblood story. No.
Hey, have you noticed that in each of these brackets, there's a movie that you like way better than the rest of the world?
There is, which means
Youngblood.
You know why?
All the right moves.
Because I have evidently, at a younger time in my life, had no life and was busy watching all these movies. Right? I had to figure it out. But Rocky easily beats Youngblood because I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Being a hockey player in skating, right? Rob Lowe attempting to look like a hockey player is worse than Robert Redford in The Natural, and Derek Sutton, who was played by Patrick Swayze. Yeah, stick to surfing. Not going to work. Okay.
No, stick to dancing.
Stick to dancing, dirty dancing. Okay. So it was
Exactly.
dancing and it was dirty. Okay. Next up,
Oh,
we've
he
got,
was also in what's the movie where he played the bouncer? It's
Roadhouse.
like
Great movie. Stu will
he's
love
like
that.
100. He's 125 pounds, scaring people. I don't think
I
so.
know, I know, and he was great in that movie. Great movie. That's for favorite bouncer movies next. But so we're both taking Rocky. Okay, so we got Raging Bull against Cinderella Man, right? So another one, Raging Bull. I think won Academy Awards. Robert De Niro played Jake LaMotta. Great movie. Cinderella Man, a great movie too, right? Boxing movie. Well, you know more about it. Is it Braddock?
Yeah, James Braddock.
James Braddock,
which is he's a great comeback story. It's a good story, but Raging Bull.
Who played James Braddock? Who played James Braddock in that?
A guy who played Gladiator. I'm really
Russell
sorry.
Crowe. Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. I'm really bad with names.
Okay.
Sometimes.
He also played in Mystery Alaska, which my brother
Also played
says is the worst movie ever made, and I personally liked Mystery Alaska. Another one of those. The Week's Kids skate in the river. I mean, come on, really? Gotta love that, right? So we're gonna go with Raging Bull.
Oh, but what a sad story. Jake LaMotta was.
Yeah,
he is a guy
tragic,
with issues.
Tragic.
But then again, I suppose when you get hit in the head for a living, some things go wrong.
Yeah, CTE all over again, right? So we're going to take Raging Bull. Then we've got another one of those iconic movies, right? These oldies but goodies, Slapshot. And Paul Newman actually did skate in this movie and learned to skate. Michael Onkeen, who plays the guy at the end who's stripping, who takes the clothes off and doing the movie. He was UNH's all-time leading scorer in goal. Unbelievable.
At one
Great
point,
hockey player. And was in The Rookies, by the way. Played Willie in The Rookies. Just letting you know there.
Good point.
Okay. I got to go with Secretariat. Good story. I love Secretariat.
Great story and a really good movie.
In a great movie, but it's about a horse. So you got to go with Slapshot.
But I'll tell you, Secretariat is still low on the Shawshank scale. I see it. I don't watch it.
Okay. All right. So
move on to the next one.
So we're taking Slapshot?
Without a doubt. Not even close.
Yeah. Okay. We got two more left. And that is Seabiscuit, another horse movie. I don't know who was picking these ones. I didn't see either one of them, by the way. Against the Mighty Ducks, which, come on. They named an NHL team after the movie.
Gordon
Bombay.
They also named their coach after a city in India.
They did. I don't know if that's politically correct.
Who thought that up?
Well, who do we like here, John?
I'm going Seabiscuit, believe it or not.
You're going Seabiscuit? I got to go Mighty Ducks. They named a team in Anaheim after the team. I mean, Gordon Bombay, great coach, was drunk driving.
That was because Disney owned them, and they.
That's true. Good point.
And they wanted it was a good marketing move.
It was. But I still love the Mighty Ducks. And the last one is an interesting one. So we've got the movie Invictus, which if people haven't seen it, it's about the rugby team in South Africa, right? The Springboks. And it's a great movie. Matt Damon plays the lead, and then Morgan Freeman plays Nelson Mandela. Does an amazing job in that.
Really great job.
Great movie. Up against Tin Cup, and I'm a golfer, and great movie. Roy McAvoy, although John, 10 shots to get it on the green and comes in last place.
Yeah, looked like me last week.
Look like me every week, but you can't look like you. I bought the clubs. They've got to improve your game.
Yeah, still looks like me. Can't improve.
So real quick, who do you like, Invictus or Tin Cup?
Invictus. Tin Cup is cute.
I love Tin Cup. I love it. I love Roy McAvoy, Phil Mickelson, and I think Stadler have cameos in it. But Invictus is a great movie, and it's great acting, and it's a great story. So I'm with you, Invictus. Well, I want to see what everyone else has to say. I know we did have some comments or some in the live chat as we were talking.
And what did we miss?
I don't know. What did we miss?
What I mean? No, ask those people. What did we
all right.
miss?
So that's good. That's a good question. So everyone, let us know what movies did we miss.
But
well, I care. You don't care. You're just a guest who comes on once in a while. I got to do this every week, right? So I want to know what maybe we missed. Maybe there was a movie that we just skipped over, or we should have given it a little bit more credence, right? I don't know. But what about Bring It On? Oh, that figures. Rob would give us a movie about cheerleading. Okay, well, that's great. We didn't miss that one. I actually like Bring It On too. Tin Cup. We got to vote for Tin Cup, but we'll have to total up the votes next week and see who moves on. But this is just what we said. But where is Bend It Like Beckham? Another great movie.
That's a great.
That's a great one.
That's why we asked what we missed because if you. Listen, Tin Cup's out, pal. Bend It Like Beckham.
It is. Mighty Ducks. Okay, well, we already got the Mighty Ducks, but you know something? We might have to make a change because I think Bend It Like Beckham we might have to vote on that. Drumline. Oh my God, that's about the drummer. That's about who's in that? Oh my God, what's his name? Who's in that? You've seen that? It's like Atlanta A&T, and he's a drummer in a drum line.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
But I know they care more about the band than
gets
the
a
football
zero
team.
on the gets a zero on the Shawshank.
Gets a zero on the
rankings.
show. Well, listen, John, I know, again, last minute, I really do appreciate you jumping on. This was great. You don't even have the green glow in front of you, which is awesome.
No, I've got some sort of orangey glow. I went with my Oompa Loompa look.
Listen, well, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory will not be in any of these movies, but
I saw no balls in that one.
We're gonna,
no baseballs, nothing.
No, just that
not
Augustus drinking things and falling in the chocolate river. Anyways, we're going to bring you back in a couple weeks because we're going to go about the half point way in the NFL, because I think on the show when we did the NFL, John, you had some awesome picks, especially the Detroit Lions, who are turning out to be an incredible football team, right? Listen, I'm going to bring up the Patriots later on in this show. But listen, I appreciate you coming on. I love the insight, and let's see what the people vote next week to move on to the second round. So thanks, John Irwin, not Johnny Greyhound, John Irwin. I really appreciate it. We'll talk to you down the line, John. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right. We'll be back with a word from this sponsor and Benny the Book's picks after this.
Forever 24 Fit, Leland's only gym with 24-hour access. Get fit when it's convenient, utilizing Life Fitness, cardio, and weight machines. And for those of you who prefer free weights, there is a free weight area as well. Start your membership today and get on your way to a better you. 6 Happiness. Enjoy fresh Asian cuisine in a relaxed and friendly atmosphere where we believe good times deserve great food. Featuring the best sushi chefs in the Leland area. So come on in and we guarantee you will be delighted.
Welcome back to Swartz Talkin Sports. I'm saying it right this week. I don't know if you guys caught it last week, but I said Swartz Talkin Sports. And I'm not talking about myself, so I got it right this week. Again, special thanks to John Irwin. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that. I love talking sports movies. We do it all the time, me and all my buddies, and I just think it's great. So hopefully a lot of people will get into this, comment on it, let us know who you want to move on to the next show, and let us know what movies we missed, and we might have to sneak them in next week. Unfortunately, Benny the Book is not here right now. Unfortunately, good friend of Benny's and mine passed away yesterday, so R.I.P. to Nikki Cap, and condolences to Nick's family. So Benny's not here this week, but he did give me the picks, and I'm going to go over them. So let's get right to it. By the way, Benny went 2-2 in college and 2-2 in the pros last week. And for people who are saying, wow, Benny should be doing better, the gentleman that picks on ESPN's College Game Day, I think his name is 4-Pack. He's like 12 games under 500. Benny is blowing this guy away. Benny has to pick his games on Tuesdays. This guy does it on Saturday mornings at the last minute. And Benny is like blowing this guy away in his picks. So maybe ESPN ought to get Benny the Book, the King of Carolina. They could do a lot worse than that. So let's start with Benny's picks in college football. The first game Benny's got this week is he's got the Iowa Hawkeyes. And the Iowa Hawkeyes favored by 4 at home against the Minnesota Gophers. It's a Big Ten West matchup. I agree with Benny on that one. Iowa's got a really good defense. They've lost 1 game this year. Minnesota has not looked great. Spotty quarterback play. Not a bad defense, but I like Iowa to win that one by touchdown as well. Second game, Benny's got his West Virginia Mountaineers. He's riding the Mountaineers all year long. They had a tough loss last week, scored on with about a minute left in the game to take the lead. The ensuing kickoff, their team was penalized, the quarterback, for dancing around like a nut job, got a penalty. They had a kickoff from the 20, and in 2 plays, what happens? They lose the game. Houston comes down on a Hail Mary from the 40-yard line, wins it on the last play of the game. So a crushing loss for West Virginia. Benny thinks they're going to bounce back and cover against Oklahoma State. Third game up, we've got Kansas State. We stay in the Big 12. He likes Kansas State and 6.5 against the TCU Horned Frogs. TCU scoring some points this year, but their defense is nothing like it was last year when they made it to the national championship game. K-State's played well this year. A couple of tough losses. Not sure if quarterback Will Howard is back this week, but he likes K-State in the 6.5 against TCU. And in the last college games, Benny likes in the Pac-12, the Stanford Cardinal getting 17.5 from UCLA. Bruins coming off a tough loss against Oregon State last week. Stanford down 29-0 at halftime to Deion Sanders' Colorado Buffaloes last Thursday night. Everyone turned the game off. It was over, 29-0. What happens? Stanford storms back. It wins the game in overtime and puts up like 38 straight points. Unbelievable comeback by Troy Taylor's team. By the way, Troy Taylor, a very good coach who came over from Sacramento State. And I think he's going to resurrect that Stanford program. And I think that I agree with Benny. I think they keep that game close against UCLA. So to recap, Benny likes the Iowa Hawkeyes. He likes the West Virginia Mountaineers. He likes the Kansas State Wildcats. And in the Pac-12, he likes Stanford to cover against UCLA in 17.5. Now let's move to the NFL. Crazy week again in the NFL. You can't pick these games. I mean, it's like flip a coin half the time with these things. Benny went 2-2 in the pros last week. And the first game Benny likes is the Colts. I don't agree with this one. They just lost Anthony Richardson. He's out for the year, the number one pick. I think second pick in the draft. He's gone. Gardner Minshew is going to be starting for the Colts. He likes the Colts getting 2 against the Browns. Browns defense is unbelievable. They just knocked off previously undefeated San Francisco. McCaffrey got hurt in that game. Deebo Samuels got hurt in that game. They held Brock Purdy to under, I think, 250 yards. They picked him off once. I like the Browns pass rush, but Benny likes the Colts getting 2. Also, second game, Buffalo Bills. This should be a cakewalk. Sorry, all you New England Patriot fans. Boy, they are after Bill Belichick in New England. He is getting lambasted on sports talk radio. I've never seen it like this. For 20 years, he was Teflon Bill. Now he's like, they want to throw him out in the garbage. Don't know the relationship with him and Kraft. Either he's got to bring in a GM in New England, or he's got to step down, because he can coach. There's no doubt in my mind he coaches, but they don't have the talent there. He hasn't surrounded Mac Jones with any talent whatsoever, and Jones even is playing very subpar in that. So the Bills 8.5-point favorites over the Patriots. I think they win that by 2 touchdowns. Benny likes the Bills in that game. Third game, Benny likes his New York Giants getting 2 against the Washington Commanders. That's not Commodores. That's Commanders. So Benny likes the Giants getting 2 against the Commanders. And in the last game, it is an NFC South game. He likes Tampa Bay getting 2.5 against Atlanta. Not sure how the Falcons are favored after that debacle last week. Falcons not good on the road. I think Baker Mayfield bounces back too. I like them to win that by 7. So to recap the NFL with Benny, he likes the Indianapolis Colts getting 2 against the Cleveland Browns. The Buffalo Bills 8.5-point favorites over the Pats. He likes the Giants getting 2 from Washington, and he likes Tampa Bay getting 2.5 against the Atlanta Falcons. So good luck, Benny. We'll see you next week. Well, we'll see you on the golf course Sunday, but we'll see you next week. And again, RIP to Nicky Cap. This is Swartz Talkin, Swartz with less sports. Okay, I don't know what our producer's giving me this thing here, but as always, please hit the subscribe button. Let us know what you're doing, especially with this show, because, moving forward to the second round with the best movies, it's all based on what you tell us, right? So we're going by what you say. You let us know who moves on to the second round. But anyway, we'll be right back with the wrap after this.
Jim's Pawn and Gun Shop, located at 4212 Oleander Drive, Wilmington's #1 firearms dealer. Sporting a large inventory, including all brands of handguns and long guns, a full stock of accessories, and all types of ammunition, Jim's Pawn and Gun Shop has it all, including the best customer service in the area.
Before the lights go out, call Wilmington Generators. We offer the lowest price and a 10-year warranty for all Briggs & Stratton installations. A Briggs & Stratton powers more of your home for less money. Call for a free quote. Wilmington Generators. We play with power.
Welcome back to Swartz Talkin Sports. I'm your host, Les Swartz. Special thanks again to our guest tonight, John Irwin, my pro football guy. John came on. Excellent talk about the best sports movies. So again, everyone out there, please hit the subscribe button, #1. And I'd love you to comment and let us know what movies need to go on to the second round. And if we forgot any, please let us know. We might have to throw them back in there. As always, this can be heard on Google Podcasts, Spotify, and you can always catch Swartz Talkin Sports on, I said it right there, Swartz Talkin Sports. It's Swartz Talkin Sports. Very difficult to say if you haven't said it. Try it. On TikTok and Instagram, check us out. We're going to be back next Wednesday at 7 p.m., a live show. We're going to bring on Andrew Dunn, who's got a podcast. We're going to be talking a little NHL action. The season started this past week, so we'll talk with Andrew about the NHL, his predictions for the season, some of the rookies moving forward, and who's going to surprise in the NHL next week. So we'll see you next Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Have a great week, everyone.